Yeah, this is Michael and Jay for Pop Chaos with I guess you could say a special report. This is really news to us. It's a shame we may have heard about this a little too late because according to what we're about to talk about, the deal was closed today. The title is the PS4 company, Sony, to sell its entire stake in Square Enix, valued at around $47 million. And of course, everybody knows Square Enix, Final Fantasy, I'm going to leave Jay here to read the article. Take it away, Jay.
Well, one thing you said I kind of disagree with, but I think we may actually be early on this news story. I dare say we may
Oh,
have actually beaten Screw Attack on this one because it's 4:45 a.m. on April 17th, and today is when the deal is supposed to go
okay.
through. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean we're not out, so we're up. So yeah, the easy mistake. Apparently this
Yeah.
was written on April 16th, as you can see on the screen here. Let's read here and see what it says. Excuse me. PlayStation 4 company Sony will sell its entire stake in the Final Fantasy developer Square Enix, Sony announced today in a Japanese news release. Translated by the Wall Street Journal, the announcement states that Sony will unload its entire position, 9.52 million shares in a transaction worth around 4.8 billion yen, which is equivalent to $47 million. Major Japanese brokerage firm SNBC Nikko Securities Inc. will oversee the transfer. The deal is expected to be officially closed on April 17th. It is the latest example of Sony attempting to become more efficient and boost its profitability. I really don't see how this is going to work out, but goes on to say, in the past year, Sony has announced that it will sell two major office buildings, lay off thousands of employees, and even sell its PC division as a means to return to profitability. Uh, I mean, honestly, what do you think of this, Michael? I mean, to me, this doesn't sound like something that they're trying to do for profit. This sounds like they're in trouble somehow.
It does sound like something is severely wrong at Sony as a whole. Sean, my best friend, mentioned something about they're trying to even downsize their TV, their television division. Of course, it says here PC division and things of that nature. And why are they doing this all of a sudden? I mean, how are they losing money? If you notice at the top of the screen to the left, there's an article that says PlayStation 4 reports 7 million consoles sold worldwide. At $400 a pop and 7 million consoles sold, that's quite a bit of change right there. But is it not doing as good as they wanted it to? I mean,
Well, we know for a fact that Sony is dominating the console race with the PS4. They've outsold Microsoft, and at this point, the Nintendo Wii U is kind of a joke. Let's not get
yeah.
into that. I mean, that's a whole different topic. But I mean, this what we talked about a month or two ago about a video game crash being almost inevitable at this point. I mean, as I told you before we went on the air here, Capcom has reported having right around a million to a million, 1.5 million in the bank. In today's market of developing video games, that's really not enough to make a game at all.
No, it's not.
Not something that like a Capcom or a Square Enix would develop. They've
Uh-huh.
even gone on record saying that mostly what they're going to be doing is developing DLC for their current games, which you and I both know DLC is not going to carry a company through this
No,
kind
it's
of.
not. And what games do they have that they can make DLC for at the moment?
I don't know, honestly. I mean,
They haven't really had anything new come out that I'm aware of.
well, everyone's been wanting a new Mega Man game, and I had heard rumors that they were going to go ahead and make a new one, but
Well,
apparently the
I thought they couldn't do that without I forget the guy's name
yeah, he
who.
left Capcom, but apparently they were going to make a new one because he's off making a Mega Man-esque game through
Yeah.
you know get funding from fans and everything. But apparently the Mega Man thing has been scrapped. That's the last thing I read on that. These companies are in trouble when companies start laying off employees by the thousands
Yeah.
and sell two office buildings. There's something going on. There's something that we're not hearing. I don't know what it is yet, but I don't think this is a good sign.
No, it's not. Especially Sony's one of the bigger electronic companies out there,
Yeah.
and something is up. Usually, when shit like this happens, it's because, like we said, they're in trouble for whatever reason. That'll probably come to light before too long. I guarantee it. It usually does when something like this happens. Now, for what the reason is, I can't really see because, like I said, Sony is one of the bigger electronics manufacturers out there. I personally own a lot of Sony products.
Oh, I do too. I've always liked Sony.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
now, I came up with a marketing strategy for Square Enix and Sony because I mean, it's not you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that Sony, ever since Final Fantasy VII, has had a very close niche relationship with Square Enix. Most of the Final Fantasy games up until recently have been mainly on PlayStation consoles.
Yeah,
Um, But I mean, my idea was go back and remake not just Final Fantasy VII, but all of the older Final Fantasy games. Give them, enhanced graphics. Don't tweak the combat system or anything, but don't tweak the story, but just enhance the graphics, bring them up to
yeah,
date.
clean it up. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Even like the older ones, like Mystic Quest and Final Fantasy VI. Give them modern graphics. I mean, that would appeal to a huge amount of people out there, myself included.
yeah, same here.
Now, my question though is, if Sony is getting rid of their stock in Square Enix, does this mean that the deal between Square Enix and Sony, as far as producing games for the console, is over? Or does this mean that they will continue making games for the PS4 and PlayStation consoles? It's just that they're not going to have that marketing bond as far as shares anymore.
I don't know. Something else I read, and Sean and I were talking about was they said that they're still going to have a kind of a close relationship with Square Enix, but as far as this kind of deal, I mean, if you're just totally going to, kick this company to the curve, are they really going to have a close relationship? I mean, for whatever reason, maybe Square Enix knows what is really going on and is okay with it, or maybe they're just left in the dark, kind of like everybody else is.
Well, what I'm worried about mostly is the whole Nintendo Sony fiasco back in the day with the disk drive that they were producing for the Super Nintendo, which actually, as you know, turned out to be the Sony PlayStation console itself. But as of right now, we don't know much. We are just reading the news article here from GameSpot, and we will put the link to this article in the description down below. So as soon as we hear something else, we will definitely report on it, keep everybody informed. But as for now, it's all just speculation.
Yes, and we can also do another discussion on this in the future, maybe this weekend. And get Sean in on it because he wants to be in on this discussion as well.
Definitely, definitely. We
Yeah.
will we will try to get together, and as the news progresses and develops, all of us get together and have a little reveal the news as quick as we can get it. But for now, that's the news. That's what we know. So let's just all hope for the best.
Exactly. So this is Michael.
And Jay,
Yeah, for Pop Chaos. Thanks for watching.
later interwebs people.
Take care.